Okay, Mr. J here. Okay, so Full House, the Olsen twins. We all know the Olsen twins. They made over 30 movies in the 1990s. They were real famous. They were made. They were on Full House. They played the little twins, little white girls with blonde hair, and they carried the show. That's the reason the show lasted 9 or 10 years. The show, the Full House, would not have lasted those many seasons had it not been for Olsen twins. The Olsen twins were so famous that they had their own movie. They were in movies. There were multiple movies and commercials. They were in TV shows. They had their own clothing line. They were multimillionaires by that they had a $1 billion industry by the time they were 18. Before they even graduated high school, but by the time they were 17 years old, they had $1 billion company. They were some of their own products, their own toys, their own clothes, their own shoes, everything, lipstick. Even right now, they're in their 30s. They're in their mid 30s. They're about 34 years old now, 33, 34 years old. I'll say 34. I think they were born 86, 87, so they'll be in their mid 40s. I mean mid 30s, mid 30s. They're about, and they have their net worth is over $500 million. They're almost billionaires. 500 million for both of them. They're rich. They're one of the wealthiest women in the world. A lot of people have been bashing them. They've been in the industry since birth, since they were like 4 or 5 weeks old. They were on Full House when they were babies, when they were in diapers. And by the time the show ended, they were about maybe 8 or 9 years old, 7, 8, 9 years old when the show ended. I think the show ended in the early 90s, 93 when the show ended. It lasted a couple of years, but from 87 to 93, so it lasted a few years. Then they started doing movies. Then they became teenagers. They got the awkward years. And then they stopped at doing the last movie they did was, I think, was in 2004 or 2005. So it's been about 16 years since they've done anything. They've really been out the spotlight, and a lot of people have been picking on them, saying they work too hard. They suffer from bulimia. They eating disorder. They have also like mental problems because they work so much. Malnourished. They also have a lust for older guys, dating guys in their 40s and 50s. Also, there's speculation that um, they were molested, off the set. There's a lot of sexual predators in Hollywood, a lot of weirdos. So they've been accused of a lot of things. And Oprah had them on her show in 2004 and humiliated them. She started asking them a lot of uncomfortable questions, and after they went on the Oprah show in 2004, that's when they stopped making movies. They were humiliated. They didn't feel comfortable with all the questions she was asking. And this is coming from Oprah Winfrey, a black woman, telling two little white teenage girls inappropriate questions. Even now, people still make fun of them, say they're too skinny, they only weigh 80 pounds. You got to understand, those women have been through a lot. They're one of the hardest working women in the world. They work hard. They're worth $1 billion. They have a $500 net worth. They have their own clothing line. They're entrepreneurs. They were entrepreneurs before they were 10 years old. They on Full House they were making $80,000 an episode. These women are hardworking, but I just wish that people just I don't like it when regular people bash celebrities, and I think it's all jealousy. A lot of people get jealous. Okay, they're billionaires. They're almost billionaires, multimillionaires. They have their own. They're young too. They're in their 30s. They were they're in their mid 30s and they already have their own company. They're making millions, billions, and millions of people love them, admire them. They're famous. They were supposed to be in Fuller House, the spinoff, but they didn't want to do it. They got tired of it. They don't want to be seen as Mary Kate and Ashley were just tired. They don't want to be. They're done with TV. They're too old. I guess they figure they just want to just lay low. But hey, that's good. But yeah,